video is part one of two videos. I've got a road trip coming tomorrow. I'll get into that in a moment. This is camera related. I did say in my last video, which was a Nikon P900, that my next video would be a Lumix FZ1000. I've got part way through doing that video, but I haven't completed it yet. Now recently I've acquired some more photographic bits and bobs, various things, cameras, tripods, cages for cameras, all sorts of stuff, and it's blowy as well at the moment, so I apologise if you can hear the wind. I've got a G9. I've had this about a year, this G9 Lumix, Panasonic Lumix G9 with 100 to 300mm Panasonic lens fitted. I recently bought a G9 II, very recently, as in 3 weeks ago. So I bought this for the bird tracking ability in flight. I'll come on to this in a moment. And I also purchased a 100 to 400mm Panasonic Leica lens. I'll tell you what the prices were, but first of all, let's put these down. Normally the wife goes away with the daughter abroad somewhere for a week's holiday, and she's just gone to Tenerife with her daughter. They're all there sunbathing as we speak, and I stay at home and look after the dog usually. Unfortunately, probably 9 weeks ago, sadly, we took the dog to the vets. It was a bit poorly. We'd had it about 9 years, but it wasn't a pup when we got it, but sadly it had to be put down, so it had a one-way journey. The wife took the dogs to the vets, and I think we got a bill for, I don't know, £1,200 and no dog. So that was pretty sad at the time. So I don't know if the wife felt sorry for me or thought I'd be lonely not looking after the dog, so she booked me 4 days away in a caravan. We're in Norfolk area, not too far from where my youngest son, who's in his 30s, lives. We've been there once already this year, and we're going again in another 3 weeks or so. Basically, it's going to be a strange thing for me, because I'm 61 years of age. I've got ill health problems from time to time. I've had 2 heart attacks. I've got a stent in my heart valve. I'm on daily medication. I suffer with bad feet now and again. I can hardly walk. So in 61 years that I've been on this earth, I've never actually been on my holidays or in America vacation on my own, and it's going to be very strange. Even packing all my things is very strange. The wife said I can use her car, which is fairly new, but she relies on her car for her work, and I've got an old banger what's 21 years old. So to try and prepare it for a good journey, I had a new water pump, cam belt, pulley wheels. I bought a spare wheel with a new tyre on it. So hopefully I won't have too many problems. But I'm in the AA, so if it does go wrong and it breaks down, something catastrophic happens, then at least I can get home and get the car home to get it fixed. About 3 months ago, I was out with this Panasonic Lumix G9. I do think it's a great camera, and I've took loads of fantastic, what I regard as fantastic photos with it, and it's nice and light with this 100 to 300mm lens. It's a good little combination. However, I was in the fields some weeks ago, and there was a buzzard kept circling me, and it was a deep blue sky, no clouds, but this buzzard wasn't circling me, but it was circling above me. I got the camera up to my eye and I thought this is going to be a fantastic picture. It was only about 80 foot above my head. The camera wouldn't focus. I tried everything. If I'd have been a bit quicker and quicker thinking, I would have flicked it to manual focus and tried to focus it manually, but it was doing sort of big circles and then coming over the top of my head. So I felt a bit, when it eventually focused, the bird was right in the distance. So I was a bit disappointed. So I did a bit of research. I did own an EM1, Olympus EM1 Mark III, and I also owned an EM10 Mark III Olympus. And I sat there scouring through the internet. I did consider buying an R6 Canon, but then I thought I've got no lenses for that camera, so I've got to start afresh. It's going to be an expensive move to move from the Panasonic Lumix cameras to a Canon, because then I'll have to sell all my lenses that I've accumulated and start buying some Canon lenses, RF lenses I believe they are. So I ruled that out of the equation, and then I watched a few videos and various videos, and I considered the Panasonic Lumix G9 would be a favourable camera to buy, because allegedly it's got good bird tracking on it. So I bought this camera, and the wife bought me, well, she bought me the camera should I say, and then bought me a cage for the camera. I think that was about £70. I did ask for a small rig, but I ended up with one called a tilter. I think it was about £75. If I can find anything I'll put it on screen, but got a little cage to try and protect it, and you've got loads of accessory points on there. But I bought this camera. I had the 300mm lens that's on the G9, the original G9. So the day I bought the camera, I went out a couple of miles from where I live in the fields, where I saw this buzzard, and pointed this up to the buzzard, bump, latched onto it straight away, put a little box over its eye, and I took a picture of it, and I was over the moon. I have since been down that field with this camera, with this new lens, 100 to 400mm. It's not a brand new one. I got this off eBay, the lens. It was I think it was £670. It came from Scotland about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I took a picture of a buzzard. I'll put it on screen if I haven't already with this, and I was over the moon with a picture. It would help if it was a little bit closer, but at least it focused, and that's the point. It focused straight away and then followed the bird and tracked it with a little box on its eye. When it got a bit further away, it switched the box to its body. So I was well chuffed. And then a week later, if I could find the picture, in the next field to where I stood, I was talking to my wife on the phone saying, oh, put my dinner in the oven, I'll be home in half an hour, 20 minutes. I heard a noise, looked up, and there was 3 red-tailed kites above my head. So of course I got the camera in, threw my phone on the floor, got the camera with this lens, the 100 to 400mm, boom, managed to get it was in silhouette a little bit, the bird was, because the sun was actually directly behind it, but the camera did focus on it. I waited till it circled a couple of times, and when there was light underneath a little bit, I took a picture. It was a bit dark, but in my editing software I managed to, I use Affinity Photo 2. It's quite good software as far as I'm concerned, and I managed to really brighten the picture up. And as I say, maybe you've seen it already, or if not, I'll try and find it on my computer and put it on the screen. So I'm armed and dangerous, so I've got me 4 days away. If you see part 2 to this video in another I don't know, 6 days, all's been well and I'm still alive and kicking. I've got a croaky voice because I've got a terrible cold, so I do apologise. So if you see part 2 to this video in about 6 days, I plan on going en route on the way there, getting up in the morning early, and I'm not an early riser, so that's going to be a job in itself. Jumping in my old 21-year-old car, and then en route I plan to stop at RSPB Lakenheath. I've seen good things of that place. That's near Cambridgeshire. I'll try and put the map up to show you where it is, but there's lots of videos on YouTube with RSPB Lakenheath Fen. Yeah, that's it, Lakenheath Fen. So it would make my day if I could get a picture of a kingfisher. I can't see it. I'm not very optimistic, but if I get a picture of a kingfisher there, I'll be very chuffed. It'll make my week. To be fair, it'll really, yeah, it'll make it worthwhile, the journey. But while I'm there, I'm going to go to Hickling Broad. I've been there before, and if I can get up early enough in the mornings, then there's a good chance I'll be able to get some good pictures. So look out for, if you're interested, look out in about another 6 days. I will, if I'm still alive and kicking, I will make a video to say what happened, whether I made it in my car or not, and we'll go from there with any pictures I took or video. I do plan on taking some video. So, but before I go, I paid, I think it was £1,280 for this camera second hand, but it hadn't got a very high shutter count. It hadn't been used very much. I will do another video comparing these two cameras, because despite all the good features, and the extra features on the G9 II. There's a couple of things that I personally don't like, but that'll be a video for another day. So the next 2 or 3 videos will be camera, photographic sort of related. But thanks for looking in. Take care everybody. And I don't know if I mentioned at the start of this video, but I changed the name of the channel. I've had to write it down because I've never uploaded any videos. It's called Random Stuff, Bits and Bobs. It was motorcycles and things, but I haven't got a motorbike any longer, so I considered just changing the name of the channel to Random Stuff, Bits and Bobs. And then when I've got more videos uploaded, I'll do some playlists of cameras, equipment, photographs, video cameras, because I've got some video cameras, etc, etc. But anyway, thanks for looking, thanks for tuning in. Take care everybody. And as I say, if you look if you look out another 6 days, hopefully, if all goes well, I'll have some nice pictures to show you and tell you how my journey went. Take care. Bye for now.